Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shota Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shota Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Yamuna Maya Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Govinda. Yeah. We don't have a verse on the board, so if you want to get close and read the book. Well, first we're going to read about NarottamaDasaThakura. It's his appearance day. Appearing as the son of a king, Sri NarottamaDasaThakura, Sri Thakur Mahashai, showed all the bodily symptoms of a Mahapurusha, an exalted divine person. He had long arms, a deep navel, golden complexion, beautiful eyes shaped like the lotus petals. In school, he was a Shrutidhar, able to memorize whatever he hears. Although he quickly mastered Sanskrit and the Vedas, he hankered to serve Krishna. He was a lifelong brahmachari. By the mercy of the holy name Gaurnitai, Narottam became detached, left his opulent family, and ran to Vrindavan. He took Diksha from Sri Lokanath, initiation from Sri Lokanath Goswami, and Shiksha and Gaudiya philosophy from Sri Jiva Goswami. When he arrived in Navadvip Dham, all the devotees asked him about the health and activities of the Goswamis in Vrindavan. They were eager to hear the news from Vrindavan. After visiting all of Gauranga's pastime places in Gaur Mandala, Narottama Das did the same in Sri Kshetra Dham, Jagannath Puri. Then he went to see the devotees in Sri Chaitanya's pastime spots in Shantipur, Sri Kanda, Kantak Nagar, Ekachakra, and Keturi Gram. In Keturi, Sri Narottama Das Thakur arranged the famous Keturi Mahotsava. So where is Keturi? How far is it? It's in Bengal? Hmm. 4 or 5 hours. Okay. Keturi. This is a very important place because what happened, we'll read right now. In Keturi, Sri Narottama Das Thakur arranged the famous Keturi Mahotsava. This was the first Gaur Purnima festival to honor the divine appearance day of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. During the festival, 6 deities were installed: Sri Gaurangadev, Sri Vallabhi Kanta, Sri Vraj Mohan, Sri Krishna, Sri Radhakanta, Sri Radha Raman. I wonder if there's an ISKCON temple there in Keturi now. There should be, right? With his sweet voice, Narottama Das began a wonderful kirtan. His chanting filled the heavens and brought down tears of prema from the eyes of the devotees, who were all sporting in the ocean of ecstasy. In the midst of their kirtan, the magnificent Sri Chaitanya himself and all his personal associates appeared and joined in the Sankirtan. Just like a flash of lightning in the midst of a mass of beautiful blue clouds, Sri Chaitanya himself appeared in the crowd of devotees through divine manifestation. You know where that's from? That's from Bhakti Ratnakar. At that time, although Mahaprabhu had left this world years before, many different devotees saw Mahaprabhu in different ways. Those of Sri Navadvip Dham saw him more intimately as Nimai Chandra or Vishrambar, as they knew him during his youth. Those devotees were attracted to Mahaprabhu in Sakya and Vatsalya Ras. The followers of the 6 Goswamis, who only knew Mahaprabhu as a sannyasi, related to him in the mood of Dasya Ras. And hundreds of devotees also worshipped Lord Chaitanya in Aishwarya mood of awe and reverence. This festival is considered a major achievement in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Hundreds and hundreds of devotees were invited, including direct disciples of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Acharya. At this time, many differences existed in the interpretation of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Acharya Rani Janavi Devi came from Kardaha with her entourage. Presiding over all the Vaishnavas, she resolved their diverse conclusions into one consistent Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. For the first time, the festival featured many kirtan styles, which integrated the glorification of Lord Chaitanya with the glorification of Lord Krishna in his pastimes. And because so many Vaishnavas were present at one place, it automatically made the Keturi festival extraordinary. It also acted as an important step toward unifying all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. That's from the Sri Navadvip Parikrama. Narottama Das Thakur wrote many devotional songs about the spiritual master, the devotees, devotional service, the 6 Goswamis, Gaur Nityananda, and Radha Krishna. Although composed with sweet melodies and simple Bengali language, Narottama Das's songs give shastric siddhanta, conclusion, and devotional inspiration. Srila Prabhupada often sang these bhajans. Considering them non-different from Vedic Shastra, he quoted them in his Bhagavatam lectures. Prarthana and Premi Bhakti Chandrika are Narottama's most famous works. So one of the songs we sing every morning, the song of Prabhupada, Guru Puja. And Prabhupada's favorite song, at least, he asked, Yamuna Devi asked Prabhupada what was his favorite song, and one particular, at this time, Prabhupada answered, one of Narottama Thakur's songs, Hari Hari, people, yeah, which is there in the songbook. Which it mentions how it's Narottama Dasa Thakur, he's writing and he's lamenting, oh, I've wasted my life, I've not worshipped Radha and Krishna. And and then it also mentions how Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they descend to this world with the treasure of divine love for Krishna, the holy name, and distributing it to everybody. And they're actually delivering conditioned souls. They're delivering people. And then it says, what's the evidence of this? As we heard last night, the evidence is Jagai and Madai. That's the evidence. What is it?
This song, that song, and other songs like it.
Yeah.
It's all I wish in the whole life. It's in a category.
You want to give them the mic?
Called Big Yuppie. This is whole category, and it's mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion under submission. And it's, I think Lala Shamagi, I just had it. Yeah, here we go. No. Dainyabodhika, humbly submitting oneself. And it's the submission is submitting an appeal. That's what the submission is, really. And it means that you, Bhaktivinoda wrote songs like that too. I've wasted my whole life, and now I'm an old man,
Yeah.
And then at the end you say, please, even in spite of this, take me into lotus feet. So that's what that song is, and Prabhupada liked that,
Yeah.
Vifale means without fruit, and live fruitlessly and taking shelter of Radha Krishna.
The following excerpt comes from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. Radha and Krishna are my goal in life and death, and they are the masters of my breath. Performing my bhajan only for them, I rise and fall in the ocean of prema. I pray that I can always maintain this conception within my heart as my highest ideal. Yeah. This is Samadhis. He's quoting from Prema Chandrika, this book. Yeah. Let me serve the lotus feet of Radha Govinda. Let my mind be filled with dedication to their divine forms that defeat the beauty of Cupid and Rati. With a straw between my teeth, I fall at their divine feet and present my humble appeal. O Kishore, Kishori. O son of Dandamara, Shamasundar. And O daughter of King Vrishabhanu, Sri Radha, you enchant even Hari. And your bodily complexion is the color of a golden lotus. O Krishna, with the bodily color like a Indra Neela gem, blue jewel, your beauty mocks Cupid. O topmost dancers, Sri Radha and Sri Krishna, please dance within my mind. O you whose beauty increases the charm of your dazzling ornaments. Day and night I only wish that I shall go on singing your glories in great ecstasy. And that ends, from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. And it says that Narottama Dasa Thakur is serves Srimati Radharani as Chamaka Manjari. Chamaka. So Narottama Dasa Thakur is a very important acharya within our line, and so many of his songs are in our songbooks, and as it said there, Srila Prabhupada would sing them often. So the devotees could, read some of his songs, sing some of his songs, meditate on some of his songs today, and in general, pray to him. Okay, so now we'll read the Bhagavatam, and we're reading from Canto 4, entitled Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 22, Prithu Maharaj's meeting with the Kumaras. And we're on text 24. Yes. Ahimsaya Paramahamsacharyaya Smritya Mukunda Charitagra Siddhuna Yamar akamar niyamaischap anindaya.
Yamar kama niyamaishapya nindaya.
Nidihaya dvandva titikshaya cha. Ahingsaya paramahamsacharyaya. Smritya mukunda charitagra siddhuna. Yamar kamar niyamaishchapya nindaya. Nihiya dvanda titikshaya cha. Ahingsaya paramahamsacharyaya. Smritya mukunda charitagra siddhuna. Yamar akamar niyamaishchapya nindaya. Nihilaya dvanda titikshaya cha.
Yamar kama niyamaishapya nindaya. Nadihiya dvanda titikshaya cha. Ahingsaya paramahamsacharyaya. Smritya mukunda charitagra siddhuna. Yamar kama niyamaishapya nindaya. Nadihiya dvanda titikshaya cha. Ahingsaya paramahamsacharyaya. Smritya mukunda charitagra siddhuna. Alright, time out. The C is pronounced cha. Yeah, cha. Try it again. Yamai. Chapya nindaya. The Y goes to the next word. Wait a minute, let's chant. Yamar kama niyamaishchapya nindaya. Nadihiya dvanda titikshaya cha. What are the words?
All right. Ahimsaya,
Ahingsaya,
by nonviolence.
by nonviolence.
Paramahamsacharyaya,
Paramahamsacharyaya,
by following in the footsteps of great acharyas.
by following the footsteps of great acharyas.
Smritya,
Smritya,
by remembering.
by remembering.
Mukunda,
Mukunda,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Our acharita agya,
Acharita agya,
simply by preaching his activities.
simply by preaching his activities.
Siddhuna,
Siddhuna,
by the nectar.
by the nectar.
Yamai,
Nai,
by following regulative principles.
by following regulative principles.
Akamai,
Kamai,
without material desires.
without material desire.
Niyamai,
Niyamai,
by strictly following the rules and regulations.
by strictly following the rules and regulations.
Cha,
Cha,
also. Api,
Api,
certainly. Anindaya,
Anindaya,
without blaspheming.
without blasphemy.
Nirihaya,
Nidhiya,
living simply.
living simply.
Plain living.
Plainly.
Dvandva,
Dvandva,
duality.
duality.
Titikshaya,
Titikshaya,
by tolerance. Cha,
cha,
and.
and.
Translation. A candidate for spiritual advancement must be nonviolent, must follow in the footsteps of great acharyas must always remember the nectar of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, must follow the regulative principles without material desire, and, while following the regulative principles, should not blaspheme others. A devotee should lead a very simple life and not be disturbed by the duality of opposing elements. He should learn to tolerate them. Purport. The devotees are actually saintly persons, or sadhus. The first qualification of a sadhu or devotee is ahimsa, or nonviolence. Persons interested in the path of devotional service, when going back home, back to Godhead, must first practice ahimsa, or nonviolence. A sadhu is described as titikshava karunika, Bhagavatam 3:25-21. A devotee should be tolerant and should be very much compassionate towards others. For example, if he suffers personal injury, he should tolerate it. But if someone else suffers injury, the devotee need not tolerate it. The whole world is full of violence, and a devotee's first business is to stop this violence, including the unnecessary slaughter of animals. A devotee is the friend not only of human society, but of all living entities, for he sees all living entities as sons of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not claim himself to be the only Son of God and allow all others to be killed, thinking that they have no soul. This kind of philosophy is never advocated by a pure devotee of the Lord. Sudada sarvadehi nam. A true devotee is the friend of all living entities. Krishna claims in the Bhagavad Gita to be the father of all species of living entities. Consequently, the devotee of Krishna is always a friend of all. This is called ahimsa. Such non-violence can be practiced only when we follow in the footsteps of great acharyas. Therefore, according to our Vaishnava philosophy, we have to follow the great acharyas of the four sampradayas, or disciplic succession. Trying to advance in spiritual life outside the disciplic succession is simply ludicrous. It is said, therefore, acharyavan purusha veda. One who follows the disciplic succession of acharyas knows things as they are. Chandogya Upanishad 6.14.2. Tadvigartam sagurum ivabhigacchit. In order to understand the transcendental science, one must approach the bona fide spiritual master, Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.12. The word smritya is very important in spiritual life. Smritya means remembering Krishna always. Life should be molded in such a way that one cannot remain alone without thinking of Krishna. We should live in Krishna so that while eating, sleeping, walking, and working, we remain only in Krishna. Our Krishna Consciousness Society recommends that we arrange our living so that we can remember Krishna. In our ISKCON society, the devotees, while engaged in making spiritual sky incense, are also hearing about the glories of Krishna, or his devotees. The Shastra recommends smartavya satatam Vishnu. Lord Vishnu should be remembered always, constantly. Vismartyavyo na jatu chit. Vishnu should never be forgotten. That is the spiritual way of life. Smritya. This remembrance of the Lord can be continued if we hear about him constantly. It is therefore recommended in this verse, Mukundar Charitagya Siduna. Sidhu means nectar. To hear about Krishna from srimadbhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or similar authentic literatures to live in Krishna consciousness. Such concentration in Krishna consciousness can be achieved by persons who are strictly following the rules and regulative principles. We have recommended in our Krishna conscious movement that a devotee chant 16 rounds on beads daily and follow the regulative principles. That will help the devotee be fixed in his spiritual advancement in life. So there's a lot there, and then there's a lot in the next few paragraphs, so I was just thinking to stop now. Yeah, because there's a lot in the next few paragraphs as well, so a lot to speak on. Om Gantipanandasya Gananjana Shlakaya Chakshuvamilitam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Lakam Karitavachalam Pangam Mangai Teginim Yakripatam Ham Vande Shri Gurun Didatanam Pancha Kavadibhishcha Kripa Sindhubhevcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So there's a saying that a bird could only, I don't know if it's exactly a saying, but I've heard people say that the bird can only fly as high as birds have their limit. Certain birds fly higher than others. So according to one's advancement, you could say they could fly, or they could fly high in Krishna consciousness to a particular degree, and some could go higher, right? So the idea is that someone may say that, oh well, I can't. I've reached my limit. I'm hitting the ceiling here. This is as much as I could do, right? This is as Krishna conscious as I could be. I can't push myself any further, and I've reached my limit. And you could say that might be a reality for some people. They can't go any further. But in many ways, that's a misconception, because one has to go all the way back to Godhead. What to speak of? If you say, "Oh, well, that's as far as I could go," well, you're not at Godhead yet, so you better go farther, right? And Prabhupada mentions a little story in the Bhagavad Gita purport with apparently the ocean swallowed a sparrow's eggs, or little eggs. So she wanted to get the eggs back. So what she did is she started with her little beak, started taking out water from the ocean. And of course the ocean was thinking, how much progress are you going to make with your little beak, taking water of the ocean? It's crazy. It's really not going to work. But she's so determined, right, to get her eggs back. So then Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, he came, and he said that you better give these eggs back, or else I'm going to empty you out, the ocean. So Garuda helped. And then Prabhupada quotes in that purport, I believe, that God helps those who help themselves. So there has to be a particular amount of an individual living entity. It means they have to help themselves to a particular degree before they could expect the mercy of God, or the mercy of anybody, in many ways. In other words, the person has to be, to some degree, you could say, good-hearted, good-natured, pious, to some degree. Somehow or other, they've had to develop that in order to be receptive towards the message of Krishna consciousness. And if one just gives up, then they've completely lost. And that's how it is in life, material life and spiritual life. You give up and things just turn it turns into like a nightmare. Sometimes people, they give up on living, on life, and they just let everything go. They let their health go, they let their wealth go, they let everything go. They become addicted to drinking, intoxication, right? And pretty soon, in some cases, they even just die because they just gave up. So, and that's called the mode of ignorance. That's why the mode of ignorance is actually completely terrible for for anybody really. But also passion is just terrible for spiritual practitioners and anybody really. So therefore, mode of goodness, clean and healthy, and so many. Right there in the Bhagavad Gita describes some of the principles of mode of goodness. So if somebody is, so in other words, someone has to have this determination and specifically not giving up, just as that sparrow had that great determination. And they shouldn't think that, I can't go any further, because that's just Maya, it's just illusion. I can't go any further. A complete misconception. You can go further. If someone thinks I'm perfect, like Prabhupada says, as soon as you think you're perfect, as soon as somebody thinks they're perfect, that means he's a rascal. Because they shouldn't think they're perfect. So, in other words, you keep on going. And so, one is not to think you're perfect, not to think we're perfect, but two is to not, this is as far as I could go. I'm being paralyzed here. The modes of nature are too strong, my mind's too strong, my senses are too strong, my material desires are too strong. I just can't go any further. Don't push me, Prabhu, right? Don't push me. Don't push me to do this, that. So, but one has to become determined, and that's what it means to be a sadhu. It says that the devotees are actually saintly persons, they're sadhus. Why? Because he mentions many things here: ahimsa, nonviolence, krunika, full of mercy, full of tolerance. So you have to be very determined to. When we say merciful, what does that mean? That means determination. Why? Because when you're trying to be merciful to people, a lot of the times they don't go for it. They don't. So you have to be determined. And same with tolerant. You have to be determined to remain tolerant. You can't just, I'm tolerant today, and then tomorrow I'm going to lose it, I'm going to snap. You have to be determined to remain tolerant, determined to remain compassionate. So, like fixed. And Srila Prabhupada mentions here that a devotee should be tolerant and should be very compassionate towards others. And he says the whole world's full of violence, and a devotee's first business is to stop this violence, including the unnecessary slaughter of animals. So Prabhupada said that in the Bhagavad Gita purport, he said that non-violence, ahimsa, means if somebody says, I'm non-violent, right? I don't hurt anybody. I'm vegetarian or this and that or vegan or something. But real nonviolence, Prabhupada would say, means to spread Krishna consciousness. And devotees give the example many times that, if there's a big disease going on, like for example, we have this disease in China, right? There's lockdown in China. There's hundreds and thousands of people locked in a city in China. They can't get out. And millions, and people can't get in, right? And in some case, they've reported so many have actually died because of this disease, which, by the way, as it stated here, eating animals. It's caused from eating animals, and they eat all types of different animals. So God knows what animal it came from, but I heard that it's like, it feels like you have a flu, right? And then eventually your lungs start kind of not working, and then you can't breathe, and then fatal. Sad, actually. Yeah, it's going around, So, so let's say somebody had the cure to that disease. Okay, well, maybe. But let's just say somebody had the cure to that disease, right? And, a bunch of people dying, like left and right, a bunch of people dying. And if someone had that disease, right? But they said, sorry, I don't want to be too But, if the guy was so demented, he would say, yeah, well, whatever, it doesn't matter if a few, people from China die, or if people around the world, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's not part of my clan, And then if later if somebody finds out that, hey, this guy's been sitting on this, magic potion for the last year, and so many people have been damaged, family members, this, that, killed, so much emotional suffering, and this guy's been sitting on this potion for a whole year, he would be in big trouble. Yeah, karmic trouble. So the point is that devotees bring this up, that if there's a cure, right, to a disease that's going on, then it should be spread. So similarly, there's a disease going on, right? Bhava Rog, right? The birth and death, the disease of birth and death, or which means a lot of suffering. So we have that cure. So the idea is to spread it, and we should. And if we don't, it's similar to like us just having the cure, and just like if they had the cure and they don't give it, it's similar. So devotees give that. So to be nonviolent means to spread Krishna consciousness as far as possible. We all have our services, we all have our duties and responsibilities, right? But somehow or other, trying to plug in to spreading Krishna consciousness. And that's how a devotee is a friend, not only to human society, but to all living entities, because they're stopping, the devotee, by them preaching and helping, is stopping their suffering, actually. So that's how they're the friend of humanity. So Krishna claims he's the father of all living entities, so consequently, devotee of Krishna is always a friend to all. So a devotee doesn't follow this idea of like compassion fatigue. It's like, well, I really tried, and nobody's. I went on books, and no one was really receptive, and I tried, and now I'm never going again, or something. Or devotee doesn't have compassion fatigue; they keep on going. So that's what it means to be a devotee. It's an important aspect. And then Srila Prabhupada mentions he says that guru. So guru is important, and there's different gurus, right? Shiksha gurus, one who guides us through their instructions. And there's Diksha guru, which is one. He gives us spiritual initiation. New name, and you take vows. It's like a formal contract, right? You have with the Guru and Krishna. You'll follow certain principles, and it'll take you back to Godhead. And then there's Vartman Padarsha Guru. They the one introduce us to the path of Krishna consciousness. So main thing is to base our lives off of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So Guru, Gurus, Sadhu, saintly persons, and Shastra, scriptures. So that should be our guiding. Principle in life. And to really take it seriously, people, if we ever want to be successful, if anybody wants to be successful in anything, they really have to take it seriously. Like these Olympic guys, for example, they're not messing around. They're like, they're really serious about it. And then, therefore, they win all these, golden medal, this medal, whatever. But, they're really serious. It's a really, they're not messing around. And people who are successful, that's how they are actually making money, this, that. So similarly, if we want to be successful to the degree, we have to try to be serious. Which also, it's not when we be serious, like the jolliness goes out the door or something, out the window. You would be happy, serious and happy. And absorb our minds in these pastimes of Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, chant our rounds, follow the principles. And this way, in so many ways, it's actually very simple. Krishna consciousness is very simple, provided we somehow or other just buckle down and follow. And lastly, and anyways, I was thinking about two different little Lord Chaitanya things I heard recently, past times I heard Lord Chaitanya. One of them's kind of more detailed, but I won't say that one because it's kind of longer, and I won't do justice to time. But the one, there was this amazing account where Lord Chaitanya, he threw a mango seed down on the ground, and then immediately, it wasn't like it took some months or something. Immediately, mango tree sprouted, and then immediately these huge mangoes were produced, which had no skin and had no seeds. And it said that when the devotees would have them, they would immediately be satisfied, just by that mango. You didn't need anything else. You could imagine a mango like that. And it said that for a whole year, devotees continuously, they would have Sankirtan, chanting and dancing, and they'd have like a mango, like a festival, pretty much. They'd have a mango afterwards. So it'd be quite amazing festival, right? If every year, for 1 year, not every day after day, every day, for 1 year, you got to chant and dance with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then afterwards you had this, ecstatic, magical mango, so quite amazing. So, all right, so tomorrow Dravida Prabhu will finish the purport, which has many different, a lot more to say on that purport. So, does anyone have any questions or? Well, the time, it's maybe Dravida Prabhu will tell it tomorrow. There was one Gopal Chapal, right? Gopal Chapal? Lord Chapala, yeah, Srivas, and then how, it's important.
Yeah, because that's in India.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's in the next part with, All right. Okay, so if there's no comments and questions, then maybe there's comments and questions from the devotees there, but... Well, that's what Dharma Setu said. Dharma Setu said, somebody has a phone, and then they could text in, and then they could read the question. But sometimes it's... Was it? Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, one thing is that for the amount of questions we have just in the class, it seems to take up quite some time. What to speak if there's like another 5, 10 devotees?
Yeah, I think maybe we can make a caveat. In other words, send them in, and like here we have a little more time.
Yeah.
So then we'll answer them in order that they come in.
Yeah. Yeah, see, you're saying your patience is thinning out and you don't feel nonviolent sometimes just because people are misbehaving. So anyways, I'll just... There is some scope for like anger and even violence sometimes. Like Prabhupada said, there was one young man and he told Prabhupada that, oh Prabhupada, Prabhupada, when we spread the teachings of Bhagavad Gita all throughout the world, there'll be no more anger. And then Prabhupada said, oh yeah, he said, well, what's wrong with anger? He said, Krishna spoke the whole Bhagavad Gita just to make Arjuna angry. Yeah, because how can you fight if you're not angry? So there is a purpose for anger and so many other emotions, provided we know how to use them. Like Prabhupada said, okay, if somebody offends us, then we tolerate. But if somebody offends the devotee, Prabhupada says or Krishna, he says, you act like fire. Which, okay, that needs to be discussed too. I mean, we don't want to get too overboard, we got to follow the laws and stuff. But, yeah. But anyways, maybe we could discuss later, but stop now. Tapas.
So you asked that we should give our best effort. So how do we know that we are giving our best effort?
What do you say, Jivara?
Like, how do we know we are giving our best effort for Krishna?
Yeah.
Like, our mind can say so many things. Right?
Well,
You want to pass?
For the materialists who are, say, in the mode of passion and ignorance, they'll be deluded and really believe that they gave their best effort when actually they could have done much more. But part of the thing is justifying to yourself that I tried. I tried to save that person, but I just couldn't. Whatever. But for a devotee, he always thinks that he never gave his best effort, that he can do more. And he prays to the Lord to empower him to do better. Right? You'll always find devotees, the great acharyas, berating themselves. In Krishna's Kaivaraj and the CC and so many others. And feeling themselves helpless. But it translates not into giving up, but because you know the Lord's desire, you know the mission from the acharyas, you know your duty, you pray to be given the strength to perform the duty, even though it seems impossible. And so that kind of constant prayerfulness can inspire you to do miraculous things from people from outside. How do they ever do it? Like Prabhupada's whole life, So that's the devotee attitude. It's not a question of knowing how you gave your best. We know that we never gave our best. And so, but how you react to that reality is the whole thing. If you pray, well, I know it's my mission, my duty, please, I don't think how I can do it, but let me, inspire me. So that comes from attitude, that devotees do miraculous things.
Yeah. So that also, like Prabhupada wrote that Bhagavat, preaching in America, that, marking the Bhagavat Dharma, that's a nice, in relation to this, you could read that in your free time. It's in Science of Self-Realization. Right, Jai. Bhagavatam ki Jai.